No one expected this. The Dallas Mavericks have lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are now 22-1. Now, I'm definitely joking, right? Like, we didn't go into the game last night thinking that we were going to walk away with a dub. And it got out of hand for a little while, especially in the second and third quarters. And it looked like it could have been a 30, 40-point blowout easily. And if it wasn't for some hot shooting in the second half from someone that we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes, yeah, it would have been really ugly. But all in all, it's okay. Like, the win streak was going to end at some point, and it was fun while it was last. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It was fun while it lasted, but OKC is entirely too good of a team for me to be upset about this loss, even though they had a few injuries. But in today's episode, we're going to unpack last night's loss. And then, just for fun, we're going to look ahead at our schedule and see when there might be another 3-game win streak. I mean, as a teaser, is that gonna restart tonight against the Rockets? I don't know. But in the meantime, bad news keeps piling on for our promising young center, Derek Lively II. And I will share my thoughts on what has been reported recently. I am your host, Ethan, the advisor Clayton, and this is Your Mavs, a Dallas Mavericks podcast where all are welcome. Y'all better behave. All right, lots to talk about. Let's dive in. We'll start with a box score review. We did lose to the Thunder 132-111. And unlike the last few games, we actually started hot. And we were just sitting there trading buckets with the Thunder in the first quarter. Okay, it was really fun. It was a scrappy effort. And we looked like we were going to be able to go toe for toe. But that's okay. They're a much better team than we are. And they showed that definitely in the second and third quarters. They outscored us by 15 points in both of those quarters. So that's what I meant when I said, like, it could have easily been a 30, 40-point blowout if we had not figured out a way to get the ball in the hoop in kind of late third, early fourth quarter. SGA absolutely cooked us, right? It was a super efficient scoring night. He was 10 to 12 from the field, 2 for 2 from the three-point line, and yeah, he was 11 of 12 from the free throw line. There were definitely some questionable calls in there, but that's just what you come to expect whenever you're matched up against the Thunder and specifically SGA. They get a very generous whistle on both sides of the floor. They can hack. It doesn't matter. But that doesn't take away from the efficiency that we saw from SGA last night. I mean, if he wanted to go for 50, he could have done that probably on 20 field goal attempts. He was just really, really lighting it up. And then the rest from the Thunder was a very balanced attack. They had 6 players in double-digit scoring. And all in all, from the Mavericks, it was not a terrible effort. In fact, we fought to really dig ourselves out of a big hole that we dug in the second and third quarter. I mean, we found a way to get the ball in the hoop and started throwing flames from the three-point line. And all in all, a pretty decent shooting night. 47% from the field and 43% from three. And we didn't turn it over a ton. Again, our season average is 17. We only had 11 last night. So we are, again, trending downward, trending in the right direction in this case. But yeah, we'll talk through some of the high points here. Okay. The top high point from last night's box score and just the overall effort, we had a Hardy party, big time. Jaden Hardy brought us 23 points off the bench, and he led our third and fourth quarter surges. Again, we were down by 29. I think, yeah, it was looking like it was way out of hand, but he started getting real hot from the three-point line, shot 5 of 9 from 3. And because of his scoring effort, we wound up outscoring the Thunder by 9 in the fourth quarter. And that's why our final score doesn't look all that terrible, all things considered. Second high point, the Naj Mahal. Okay, Najee Marshall. He went in and scored 18 points on 8 of 11 shooting. It was a lot of fearless attacking. It was all-out effort. And it really seems like his jump shot has found form recently. So that's something I want to keep an eye on. I don't know if this is just a blip in the radar or if he truly is as good of a shooter as he's showing us lately. There were definitely more glaring issues than there were high points last night, but I'll only talk about 2 of them. I don't want to beat a dead horse again. It was the Thunder. right? We're going to take that with a grain of salt. The first glaring issue that I see, we shot 63% from the free throw line. Okay. Completely unacceptable, right? Especially when you find yourselves in these tough games against the best defense in the NBA. You've got to take advantage of the freebies. And if we had, it would have been a different ball game. I'm not saying that we would have won or that we would have had it to a single-digit deficit, but we wouldn't have dug ourselves in as deep of a hole as we did in the second and third quarters if we were hitting our free throws. There were even a couple of trips. One of them was from AD where he missed both free throws. Like, figure it out. We got to take advantage of those. And we are now right at 71% and one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the NBA. That continues to be a huge issue. Another glaring issue, I don't want to harp on this too much here. Anthony Davis only scored 2 points last night on 1 of 9 shooting. And it really seems to me that the finger injury that he's been nursing is impacting him more than we might have originally thought. But, it's always something with him, right? And in fact, there was also a knee injury scare last night where he collided knees with Brandon Carlson, but he seems to be fine. He played, he had his knee like deeply wrapped up, and then he came back into the game in the fourth quarter. So I guess he's okay. But he did find other ways to contribute on the box score, even though he wasn't hitting from the field. He dished out 6 assists. And listen, guys, I'm not going to sound the alarm on him tanking his trade value, because apart from the counting statistics, our offense has been much, much better since he has returned from his left calf strain. We are now averaging 119 points a game over the last 5 games since he has returned. If your other teams, you're evaluating his value and what you might be willing to offer, you got to notice that we were one of the worst offenses in the NBA, trending to be one of the worst in NBA history. And now we're pretty freaking good on offense. So even if he's not scoring, he does impact winning or impacts quality on the court. All in all, it was a mediocre showing from our rookie duo. I'm not going to harp on that. That's to be expected. This is, again, the Oklahoma City Thunder that we're talking about. No sweat. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. Now, as I teased at the beginning of the episode, when are we going to see our next 3-game winning streak? Okay. The first scenario that I'm going to throw at you, we do have a chance to restart that tonight against the Rockets. For whatever reason, I'm not going to sit here and say that we are of equal quality of the Rockets. Like, they are definitely a better team than we are, especially this season, but we always play them tight. Right. And we all saw how close that first matchup of the season was. I think that trend continues. If we find a way to win tonight against the Rockets, then we're going to follow up that game against the Nets and then the Jazz. So right off the bat, we have an opportunity to jump back in with a 3-game winning streak. I like our chances if we can put it together tonight against the Houston Rockets. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to throw any bold predictions or score predictions or anything like that at you today. Mainly just talking analytics here. But if we don't win against the Rockets tonight and we don't put together a 3-game winning streak against the Rockets, Nets, and Jazz, well, that's okay. Let's look at late December. There's going to be a stretch of games where we're looking against the Kings, the Blazers, and then the 76ers. I like our chances on that little 3-game stretch. Okay, I think that's at December 27th all the way through January 1st. Keep your eye on that stretch of games. I think we will have another 3-game win streak there. And if not, then kind of early to mid-January, we're going to have another stretch of Kings, Jazz, Bulls, and Nets. So of those 4 games, we should win 3 of them in a row, hopefully, right? So I like winning. Just depending on the day, I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not I am fully team tank or if I like the idea of continuing to compete and maybe even make an aggressive trade to put young talent around Cooper Flagg. And if we do that, we might have enough talent on our team to be too good to tank fully. I don't know. Right. We'll see how that pans out. But if you like the 3-game winning streak, those are your best chances. Again, it could restart tonight against the Rockets because then we're going to follow up against the Nets and Jazz. Late December, it would be Kings, Jazz, and Bulls. Kings, Blazers, and Sixers. And then early to mid-January, we've got a 4-game stretch of Kings, Jazz, Bulls, and Nets. So there's going to be a handful of wins that come in those stretches. Keep an eye on that. And our chances of winning and putting together a streak are greatly increased because tonight, as of this moment, Anthony Davis is due to play. He is not on the injury report as of now. I find that very interesting because normally he is not at all likely to play on back-to-backs. He played last night. Yeah, he got banged up on his knee. He's still nursing that finger injury, but he might play again tonight against the Rockets. And let's just rewind real quick to last season, his debut at the Mavericks. You know how that looked on the court. So maybe we see an all-time performance from AD tonight. You know what? Here it is. Bold prediction. AD is going to find his shot. He's going to have 25 and 15 tonight. Don't at me, bro. But the fact that he's playing tonight says to me that PJ Washington is still probably not returning from injury. And I think that also means Daniel Gafford is not returning. So stay tuned on that one. Speaking of injuries, D-Live, man, oh man. Man, oh man. It seems to always be bad news. But here's what was reported recently. He is experiencing swelling and discomfort in his foot. So he is seeking multiple opinions on what his treatment moving forward should be. On the one hand, maybe we can fix this issue and it doesn't recur ever again, right? If we get all the opinions in the world and get the best eyes in the medical world, like on his injury, maybe we can figure it out. But I do not like the sound of this. This paints a bleak picture for his availability for the rest of the season and maybe even his long-term outlook. Because goodness gracious, you've heard me say it before. The foot injuries for a 7-footer are a kiss of death. Thank you, Nico. Thank you for nothing, right? Like it really does seem that playing him through that injury last season has put his career in jeopardy because came back too early. I think it was because we were at risk of forfeiting games and he created foot issues, bone spurs that were surgically repaired over the summer. And now it seems like that's just going to be a recurring issue. Let's get it right this time. If that means he's out the rest of the season, great. Figure it out. Take care of this young man. He is such a solid contributor on both sides of the ball. He is a great locker room guy. Just overall, excellent human being. I hate to see a lot of the bad news surrounding his name every time his name is mentioned. So definitely something we got our eyes on. I'd say at a minimum, we're not going to see him on the court for a couple months, but I would expect now that he's not going to be on the court again this season. That's just kind of based off of how things have trended in the past. And whenever he does return, whether that's 2 months, next season, or whatever, let's wait till he is 1,000% ready. Like 1,000% ready. Yeah, this swelling and discomfort indicate that he never did fully heal from his surgery over the summer. I don't like that news, right? So definitely something we're going to keep our eyes on. But again, just to recap the episode, I started off with a really funny joke that no one expected the Thunder to beat the Mavericks, but they did it anyway. Our streak is over, but we could restart that streak tonight against the Rockets because now we're going to play the Jazz and the Nets. I keep mixing it up. Yeah, Nets and Jazz after the Rockets. Let me know what you think. I've really been enjoying the comments I've been seeing here, and we are now up to 32 subscribers. So maybe 50 subscribers by the end of the year is too low of a goal, but I'll be excited when we get there. Before I started recording this show, I had never podcasted before. I didn't have high expectations about how quickly all this would grow. But I really love talking Mavs, and I really love all the comments that we're getting here. So let's continue to build this community. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Hit like, subscribe, hit the bell on your screen so you can be notified whenever the next episode drops. And as always, y'all be good. Party on.